Imagine becoming one of the greatest baseball players in the world, only to lose everything. Imagine spending your life building a legendary reputation, only to have your name linked forever to one of the biggest scandals in sports history. More than 100 years later, baseball fans still debate the same question.
Was Shoeless Joe Jackson a cheater?
Or was he one of the greatest victims in baseball history? This is the rise and fall of Shoeless Joe Jackson. Born in 1887 in rural South Carolina, Joe Jackson grew up in poverty. His family worked long hours in textile mills just to survive. Like many children of the time, Joe left school at a young age and spent much of his childhood working. Because he received very little formal education, he struggled to read and write for most of his life. But while he lacked education, he possessed something extraordinary, a natural talent for baseball. Whenever Joe wasn't working, he could be found playing baseball on dusty fields. His talent quickly became impossible to ignore. People noticed that he could hit a baseball harder and farther than almost anyone around him. Stories about the young player's abilities spread throughout the region. Soon, local teams wanted him. Then, professional teams came calling. Joe's journey from poverty to professional baseball had begun. As he entered professional baseball, fans immediately recognized his incredible talent. He possessed a smooth, powerful swing that made hitting appear effortless. Pitchers struggled to get him out. Spectators packed stadiums to watch him play. Over time, he developed a reputation as one of the best hitters in the sport. His unusual nickname also became famous. According to popular legend, Joe once played a game wearing new cleats that caused painful blisters. Frustrated, he removed the shoes and played barefoot. A fan reportedly shouted, "You, shoeless son of a gun." The nickname stuck. From that day forward, he became known as Shoeless Joe Jackson. By the early 1900s, Jackson had established himself as one of baseball's biggest stars. His batting average ranked among the best in the game. His consistency impressed teammates, opponents, and fans alike. Many believed he was destined to become one of baseball's all-time greats. Eventually, Jackson joined the Chicago White Sox. The team was talented, powerful, and expected to compete for championships. Fans loved them. Sports writers praised them. And in 1917, the White Sox won the World Series. Everything seemed to be going perfectly. But beneath the surface, problems were growing. Despite their success, many White Sox players were unhappy. Team owner Charles Comiskey had a reputation for being extremely frugal. Several players believed they were underpaid. Some felt disrespected despite helping the team win. Resentment slowly spread throughout the clubhouse. Those frustrations would eventually create the conditions for one of baseball's greatest scandals. In 1919, the Chicago White Sox returned to the World Series. Their opponents were the Cincinnati Reds. Most experts believed the White Sox were the better team. Fans expected them to win. But before the series began, secret conversations were taking place. According to later investigations, several White Sox players met with gamblers. The alleged plan was simple: lose the World Series intentionally in exchange for money. If true, it would represent one of the greatest betrayals in sports history. As the series began, strange things started happening. Players made unusual mistakes. Unexpected errors appeared. Suspicious plays raised questions. Fans and journalists noticed that something seemed wrong. The Reds ultimately won the championship. At first, most people accepted the result. But rumors quickly began spreading. Whispers of a fixed World Series moved through baseball. Soon, journalists started investigating. The accusations grew louder. Eventually, a grand jury launched an official investigation. The scandal exploded across the country. Newspapers filled their front pages with shocking headlines. Fans were furious. Baseball's reputation was suddenly under threat. The investigation revealed allegations that 8 White Sox players had participated in this scheme. The players would eventually become known as the Black Sox. Among those accused was Shoeless Joe Jackson. For many fans, the accusation was difficult to believe. Jackson had performed remarkably well during the World Series. His batting statistics were among the best on the team. He hit safely throughout the series. Many people wondered how someone could be helping throw games while still performing so effectively. Yet his name remained tied to the scandal. The legal battle that followed captured the attention of the entire nation. In 1921, the accused players stood trial and were found not guilty. Legally, they were free. But baseball's new commissioner, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, believed the game needed to regain the public's trust. Ignoring the court's verdict, he permanently banned all 8 players from professional baseball. The decision shocked fans across the country. For Shoeless Joe Jackson, it marked the end of a remarkable major league career. He never played in the majors again. Instead, he spent the rest of his life playing in smaller leagues and working ordinary jobs. Even so, the debate over his role in the scandal never faded. Some historians believe Jackson knowingly took part in the conspiracy. Others point to his outstanding performance during the 1919 World Series, arguing that he showed little sign of trying to lose. More than a century later, the truth remains a matter of debate. One story became part of baseball legend. A young fan is said to have pleaded, "Say, it ain't so, Joe." Whether those words were ever spoken remains uncertain, but they reflected the heartbreak felt by countless fans. As the years passed, baseball moved on. New stars emerged, and new champions were crowned. Yet, Shoeless Joe Jackson was never forgotten. His incredible statistics continued to rank among the best in baseball history. But the lifetime ban kept him out of the Hall of Fame. Even today, opinions remain divided. Some believe his talent deserves recognition. Others argue that protecting the integrity of the game must always come first. Whatever the verdict of history, one fact remains clear. Shoeless Joe Jackson left a lasting mark on baseball, and his rise and fall remains one of the sport's greatest mysteries. Even after his death, the debate surrounding Shoeless Joe Jackson never truly ended. Baseball historians, writers, and fans continue to examine the evidence, searching for answers that may never come. Some argue that Jackson's remarkable performance during the 1919 World Series proves he never deliberately tried to lose. Others believe that accepting money from gamblers, regardless of how he played, was enough to justify his lifetime ban. Over the years, his story has inspired books, documentaries, and countless discussions about fairness, justice, and the integrity of sports. More than a century later, the controversy remains as powerful as ever. Few athletes have left behind a legacy that continues to divide opinions while keeping their name alive across generations.